Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yesterday I promised you. How is everybody's weekend? Sorry, Friday. I said a weekend. Hope you're all resting. We don't wrap up for the. I don't wrap up for the week. Um, but I'm actually on duty, so even though I've wrapped up officially, hopefully. Anyway, how is everyone doing? How are we all doing? Makan makan, loyin kan. Makan makan. The fear of British press is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of waiting, the fear of British press is the beginning of wisdom. Now, um, I actually want to talk about this, and as a reflection, I'm not saying Britain is perfect. Britain is far from being perfect. As a matter of fact, there is no country that is perfect. Don't let anybody lie to you. No country on the surface of this world that is perfect. Every country has its own. They have their own. They have their corruption happening. They only do it differently. Okay. Every country have waiting. They have their own corruption, but what they do is they do it differently. In the case of, sorry, just give me 1 minute. To let me make sure I have. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I forgot to do the needful. Okay. Yes, I'm with you now. Every country has its own. Uh, they have. There's corruption everywhere. Okay. When I say everywhere, Africa, oh, Europe, oh, Asia, oh, South America, oh, name the part of the world there is corruption. Every government is corrupt. It doesn't matter what part of the world they are. Okay. The only difference is everybody does their own differently. Okay. So today, Oyibiribiri Okon United Kingdom. And for us as Africans, or let me don't, yeah, for us as Africans, there are lessons to be learned here. Okay. Yesterday, when I was doing my show, I was given a hint of what was going on in United Kingdom. Obviously, the news is not a monopolized news. It's not monopolized. If you have BBC, but one thing I know for a fact is in the developed countries, the type of the news that is projected to the world is sieved, is well sieved compared to the news within those countries. Okay, so last week in United Kingdom, there were concerns. Guardian, I think it was Guardian newspaper. Yeah, they had an investigation that a senior politician had evaded tax, and but they did not go into details. Now they just entered it, and that was that. But of course, if the media, if you know the UK media, don't let me say the Western media, because all Russia is also a Western country, and the media in Russia is well controlled. America, the media in America is not as transparent as it should be. Even the United Kingdom, the media is not so transparent. Okay, every country, their media they get bought, but they are as transparent as what we see as transparent. Okay, yeah. So the UK media, the common knowledge is the fear of the media is the beginning of wisdom for all politicians, for civil servants. If in short, if you hold a public office, the fear of the media is your is the beginning of wisdom, because the way they carry your case, they dance like newborn baby. Ayayayayaya. Hey, you know go Bombay. No be say there's no escape route except say they no get evidence. And one thing with the British media, they will not talk about something that they cannot evidence. So when you don't see them begin, they carry their mouth, begin they gbé the thing, they gbejo. Trust me, they have something, and that thing, they, of course, they would have contacted the person that owns the news, or the person that they are reporting about. They would have contacted, because the law says they have to contact that person. If that person cooperates, if that person says, okay, I will do the needful, but if the person don't do the needful, hey, British media, they no send your papa. Anyway, so last week, there was a news wave that a senior politician, they did not even say the political party, they just said a senior politician had invaded tax or had committed tax fraud. But of course, as normal, people were, there was questions. Who is this senior politician? Who can that person be? Wait till they happen. Kiniko. In between it, now so British. Now, in short, everybody was even thinking it was a conservative prime minister, conservative senior minister. As a matter of fact, some people were even pointing at Kemi Badenoch, because say Kemi, say Kemi does step on so many toes. Some people say anyway, people were speculating. But before we could say Jack Robinson, àṣé èèyàn ló wà nínú ìgò tí tó fi ń jẹ́ gin. Àṣé na the deputy prime minister, the second in command to Keir Starmer. The man you are seeing on this screen, that is the British prime minister. He is second in command. Now commit tax fraud. When you hear tax fraud, ogbologbo tax fraud, now he commits. And you know why this even became more interesting? Is, committing the tax fraud is bad enough. Then the fact that she's even the Secretary of Housing, that is in the UK we call them secretaries, but it's actually ministers. So we call our ministers secretaries. The fact that she's even the Secretary of Housing, that's the Minister of Housing, the Nigerian equivalent, even made it he made it an unforgivable sin. Say some sin, they will be saying they're unforgivable. That is the cocoa of the matter for this woman. So I will show you some videos. So if you're there UK, I'm sure you would have seen it on your news. So of course, she came out. Angela Rainey is her name. A little background to Angela Rainey. No, sorry. Before I say the background, let me highlight what she did. So Angela Rainey came out, and she carry herself. She reported herself. So when, like I told you, when press don't begin to be a joke, you better face your reality. And you see, on that kind of situation, it is a swim in the deep blue sea. Even your boss cannot save you. Your family member gun, they cannot save you. Because press, they have that information. They have a very solid evidence. And that's one thing with the British press. They will not talk about what they cannot evidence. So the moment they start saying there's a rumor, you better begin to cooperate. When you hear, begin to shake yourself. Say, ara Minnesota, you go begin to shake yourself. Anyway, so Angela Rainey came out, and that's the UK Prime Minister, the second in command to Keir Starmer. She came out and said she's sorry that her legal advisors, she bought a second house for her disabled son. So she has a son who has disability. So she said she bought a house for her disabled son, and the stamp duty. So in United Kingdom, if you have a second house, this comes to all of una wey they buy. Anyway, una go lay. Anyway, so if you have a second house in United Kingdom, a second house, a third house, whatever amount of house you have, other than your main house, there is a stamp duty you are expected to pay. You are mandated, no be expected. Expected that they are thinking about it. Mandated means it is, you have to do it. Okay. So, the stamp duty that she was supposed to, that she was that she's mandated to pay, she should change Her Majesty's revenue, HMRC, revenue and customs. She should change them with 40,000 pounds. 40,000 pounds. And you know, say now, UK, they find their money. When you define people, where they find their money, UK, they find them. Anywhere where their money, they find them. Anywhere where their money, they find them. When you know, when a person, they use microscope, they find money. UK, they find money right now. They go around Kongaza. So, she can't talk up. But instead of her to say, I short change HMRC, that is the short form of sorry, I keep saying Her Majesty. It's Majesty. You know, say you don't, you know, say Mama Charlie now, person where all of us know, as she has been there forever. Now we get the Majesty, but Charlie, we know the year Charlie na voicemail. Charlie Gamma anyway, so it is now His Majesty Revenue and Custom. So when people heard, when she said she mistakenly, that she did not, that she was not well guided, she would our legal team did not guide her right. Hence the reason why she should change. She underpaid her her stamp duty by 40,000 pounds. Hey. Now some people come, Akaribi. When you hear Akaribi. Hey. Sorry. If you understand the UK system, you understand why I'm laughing. Akaribi. Now people begin to ask questions. Oh, did the 4,000 pounds, 40,000 pounds. Now you say you underpay. You don't even say 1,000. You don't say 400. You don't say 300. 40,000. As in 40,000. Now you underpay by Odima. How did you do it? In short, people did not even focus on the facts that the fact that she's even a housing secretary. That one they one corner. Okay, that one they one corner. The fact is, so you bought a second house. You sold your house and bought a second house, and you did not know that you have to pay stamp duty in the correct amount. You did not know how to calculate it. People begin, and you know, say BBC, and so BBC carry and begin they analyze her case. As BBC they analyze, now so ITV they analyze. That is what did they call it? I can't even remember what ITV stands for, but it's a UK TV anyway. Now so Channel 4 too begin they analyze. As they analyze them, LBC, if you know LBC, all the media houses. Now so they begin they analyze. Newspaper front page, na her face they slap puts. Hey, Shege Barao Banza, you carry money you farm. Now so some people now they go outside the house where she buy. And one thing you have to understand, in United Kingdom, your property is not hidden. Okay, you know, be like Nigeria, when a politician they go hide property. For UK, your property is not hidden. Your information na land registry. If you like, it be queen. If you like, it be king. Even Charlie rich. His information is not hidden. The amount of property where you get, the amount of land where you get, it dey gadagba not customary land registry. So, now so what be the name? Now so people trace her house. Of course, she's being a deputy prime minister. So the way the UK system works, although we have elected members, but all our MP, they were voted through a constituency. So it's like your local government. That's how your local government equivalent in Nigeria. So all your MPs, they emerged through a local government election. Okay, that's how to explain. That's the easiest way to explain it. So of course, even though she's a deputy prime minister, even though she's a minister of say she's a secretary, well, minister of housing, at least she get house where she dey stay. She get neighbor. E no be like Nigeria where your politicians dey invisible. E no be like Nigeria where you go, where your politician dey dey around one agolo. Your politician na so they carry security, they go carry security them. For UK, nobody send anybody papa. Okay? Even Keir Starmer, despite the number 10 where in the state, this man where you look, so this prime minister, I'm sure if you live in United Kingdom, you know the picture of your prime minister. This Keir Starmer, the number 10 where in the state, he dey pay rent. Okay? He dey pay rent. So everybody know in address. They know where he dey stay. The house where he dey stay, and the moment he leave, once he don't leave, in short, now we don't even know whether he go finish it tenure for the kind scandal where they head. Whether he go finish that tenure now, in leg, the guy dey on top of rope. When you hear ara urokun ara uradi, now be in case right now. Because his deputy prime minister, he cannot turn around and say he does not know that lady invaded tax. He cannot turn around. So right now, why did they judge Angela Rena's case? They don't begin to judge your own case too. Say, okay, yes, we understand. They say Angela Rena don't resign. But the question be say, resignation is the least of the worries. Keir Starmer, what do you know about the tax invasion? About the tax dodge? What do you know about the tax fraud? That your deputy prime minister, like your vice president scenario, your vice president, he carry money, he carry tax, he committed fraud, he committed tax fraud. So anyway, now so they begin. So anyway, so when they now, she now said, so people were like, the press obviously trust UK media. Since the last 3 days now, UK media don't they bear a case, Joe. You know they carry in case they dance. When you hear they carry case dance, now in case they used to do breaking news. As I still they follow the talk now, they still they judge her matter. When you hear that they judge that the matter we see they judge, now the matter they still they settle. So they are still judging the matter. Okay. So she apologized and said she did not know. Instead of her to apologize and say and tell the truth, she said her legal team now mislead them. Say the legal team no tell them how many they did not calculate, or they did not guide her right in doing the right calculation. Although she's quite happy to pay the difference, but it is not as simple as paying the difference. What the real concern is if you can commit tax fraud, and what other things have you done? Now be the cocoa of the matter. Why she still talk that one? Where people still look say, and then yesterday they said whipping emotions, and she's a single mother, and they said she's a single mother. Of course, we know she's a single mother. She's a single mother. Her child has disability. Her ex-husband has been very supportive. She even, in short, as a judge in case reach, she grant interview, begin they cry. And you know one thing for United Kingdom, they know they do emotion. Ikatoba she lobange United Kingdom. They know they do emotion. You know those one they go do for Nigeria. Hey, you don't wear your bello, where you carry bandage, wrap in head. Say they go do a medical leave. Unlike United Kingdom, nobody send your papa. Before you go do any medical, if you like, go do medical. If you like, it should be that the medical, unlike Nigeria, you know, say our medical for here, na NHS go treat you. Won't be here there. In short, if any if any public holding person, he say they go receive health treatment abroad, tieba. When you hear tieba is ba finally, of which that one will happen. Anyway, so now she can't say that she said that her legal team now guide them. Temitope, how are you? Yes, so they tried to do that nonsense for a year. If you see the way they take do, I will show on a video. If you see the way they take to this woman, they cry. Yesterday she was crying. Oh, I wanted to shake it. I wanted to. Now so they tell them, in short, press no even. And you know the thing with United Kingdom, they know they look face. When you hear one woju uche for United Kingdom, they know they woju uche. They go deal with the real issue. When they can't do unto their satisfaction, they feel can't come back say, oh, okay, well, okay, you are a single mother. It has done, it has kinika. They will now come back. They will now, they can come back and come and address that emotional angle. But the main cocoa of the cocoa, they go deal with them first, and that's what they've done with this lady, with the deputy prime minister. So guess what they did? She was granting press release. So while she was still granting interview, now there the legal team we advise them, the one where she they lie on top their head. Now those ones come out, they give statement to say, come, no life our head. Ologbeni, now information where you give us. Now information where we give us, now we use they guide you. When they can't talk that one, she can't realize to say, hey, when you hear gongo so kitikwaru, kitikwa rule finally. Now she can't come. In short, what happened is, yes, she did not know. She bought the house she bought the house for her son, for a disabled son, so that he can have something for the future. However, she bought it in a trust, and she did dig hole. Now she can't dig rabbit hole around herself. Because when Guardian newspaper first talk, they don't mention name. They just give hints. Of course, that is natural. When they do that, when you get the story, they expect that you go come outside, can't talk your truth. If you now refuse to talk your truth, they go come help you share the evidence ite ko sinule, okuta sinule, ita gbangba bai no ma kese sita. So when she can't talk, now Guardian, okay, before she even owned up that it was even trust. Now so Guardian newspaper can't release statement to say no be say she buy the house outrightly. She bought it using a trust. She bought it on. She bought it through a trust in a trust for her son. Now that one I can scatter everybody head. Now gbogbo press in UK number the day. So that means it was premeditated, because you don't just go and buy a property you don't go and buy a property through trust, using trust. You already knew what you wanted to do. You already wanted to avoid tax. It was a calculated move. It was premeditated. Premeditated means something you had planned and thought through very well. Okay? So when you hear all those your pastors, when I was saying it yesterday, say all those your pastors, we get trust. All those them wigwe, late wigwe, all of them, we get trust. Sherry shock absorber Nigeria. I got on my your shock absorber. Let's say buguni. Una go there amazed the kind things when una leaders don't use una they do. It just takes the right leader to come into power and do the right thing around the trusts, around those nonsense trusts. What did they do? Anyway, that's not for today. So when they can't talk that one, and they say, now then she can't come out, can't explain, can't begin the shalaye. When you hear, you go shalaye tire, you go explain, you go explain tire. She can't explain. She no say she thought buying a trust, buying a property through a trust for her son will secure her son's future. We shaking it because she can't begin the talk story. Now they say, now that's so press, and you don't say UK press. One more but she lawyer law from buy. UK press. Now so they go they ask you question. You know, like all those Nigerian podcasts. Now so they go they ask you question. Now only you by yourself, you go dig rabbit hole for yourself. Only you by yourself. Because until you talk waiting they grant. So they can't begin the question them. Now she can't say and she no knows. Now they say, hold on. This is you taking the piece, by the way. Hold on. Shebi you be housing secretary, which is your housing minister. You be housing minister. No be you do policy, no be you reform policy around housing. This stamp duty, you dey among the way uphold them. Say anybody with a second home, they have to pay stamp duty. As a matter of fact, you even raised the bar around it. You did a campaign. Now, Keir Starmer, where does Keir Starmer come into all of this? You see Keir Starmer, you know, I don't tell you, I say, Keir Starmer, go and Google him. He's a renowned human rights lawyer, a solicitor in United Kingdom. All the laws that he fought for, all the laws that he fought to be reformed, you know, say, like I always say, you see, when you are at the other side of the fence, it is sweet to criticize. When you now enter inside the house, now that time you go know say all that guilt has is no good. Okay? That's why they always tell my friends, you worry when they shout revolutionary, revolutionary. I say, okay, Nigeria can do this, Nigeria can do that. When you reach leadership, we go see what you go do differently. Peter Obi, when they make noise, when he enter leadership for Anambra State, he don't do anything different. He even left Anambra State to worse off. Forget those nonsense of I save money. Anyway, now so all the laws where Keir Starmer use, where he make sure say they reform. Now that same law, now can they bite them for back now? Because all the and you know the painful bit for Keir Starmer and why his leg did they shake. You know, so I tell you, say his leg is hanging on a rope. This is the sixth. His deputy prime minister will be the sixth person in his cabinet that had to resign because of fraud. Okay, not too long ago, one of his junior minister, that one resign. Guess what he do? He go increase rent. He give him tenant quit notice. You know they transparent with them, say he want increase rent. Now so he give them quit notice. On top say he give them quit notice, he can't advertise the property. He put the property for Origba. Now he puts increased rent on it. Now so in tenant, now so they carry and go ombudsman. Ombudsman they are those that manage financial irregulation. Okay, and if you have any concern with government, those are the people you go and report to. They are independent body. Okay, now so the tenant carry case. Then they come publish gbogbo àwọn letter àwọn àti email wọn kò bá kó sórí igbá. The lady had no choice. That junior minister, she had no choice than to resign. Okay, Keir Starmer, this in glasses where they wear. When Keir Starmer first became prime minister, you see the way the guy they look, he now always smile. The guy always smile. For the first, that his smile, he no reach 2 weeks. When he see the wahala with the grand, that his smile. You see the guy they look pako like this. Now so they always they look now. That's how he has been looking. The amount of gray away they in here, you know, if you counter. Because if you find people way stubborn, United Kingdom, British people, they are the most difficult to rule. Whatever you want to do, just make sure say you dot your I's and cross your T. Otherwise, one frustrate your life way. Anyway, let me show you what's happen. We could start from there first.
Angela Rayner has admitted paying the wrong amount of tax on a flat that she bought. It's an incredibly damaging revelation for any housing secretary, but especially one who's the Deputy Prime Minister in a government which has raised taxes. She's adamant this wasn't deliberate and that it was based on flawed legal advice which she received before she bought the flat. Now, there are some complications here because it involves a trust which she set up for her teenage son who has disabilities, and it also involves her divorce from the father of that son. But there are still outstanding questions. From whom did Angela Rayner seek that wrong advice? Did she give them all the information they needed before they advised her on how much tax she should pay? And above all, the big question, can you really remain as housing secretary if you didn't pay the right amount of tax on a house? Angela Rayner's political future is now in the hands of an investigation by the Prime Minister's independent ethics advisor. It will determine her political fate, but it's also a massive moment for the government as a whole.
So, if you pay attention, you see that all of this has come to play due to transparency of governance. Imagine if, let's put it in the context of Nigeria. Imagine if this Angela Rayner was a Nigerian politician. Look at our politicians in Nigeria, right? Look at Yaya Bello, for instance. We pay school fee of children in advance with state money. What's Yaya Bello doing? Nobody is asking question. In short, after that information came out, he still remained a governor. Look at Betta Edu. Look at what Betta Edu did. The current president of Nigeria, he get bullion van. Just imagine if they were politicians in Britain. Like I said when I started the show, there is no perfect country. Don't be deceived. There is no perfect. You see this Angela Rayner, gbogbo wọn ló lè. Èèyàn tílẹ̀ mọ́ bá òun ló ń jẹ́ bàràó. Okay? All of them, all the politicians wey dey UK, their mind no dey touch ground. Their prayer every day when they wake up, that is if there's anything, there's no prayer anywhere. Their wishes every day when they wake up is make press no too idi wọn. As a civil servant, like I always joke with my colleagues, say, come, I know they do makeup, but I go always try to get makeup for inside my purse, just in case I need to smile for the camera. You know what they call smile for the camera? When they put your face for front page, hopefully they don't go put our face for front page for the wrong reason. This Angela Rayner now, you hear, she's a deputy prime minister. It wasn't just a case that she committed fraud, it was premeditated. If in Nigeria now, she's a single mother, she has apologized. What do you guys want? That's so they go to talk. She even cried, what is it? Why can't you guys forgive and forget? After all, Jesus forgive. And when a Muslim, they go come. After all, Muhammad forgive. Awusu be lie. He is a lie. What God cannot. Now so they go to quote Bible. This one, nobody quote any Bible. The focus is as a deputy prime minister and as a housing secretary, that's minister of housing. She knows what she should and should not have done. All those lawyer might tell me this, lawyer might tell me that. You see, say nobody send her. They analyze her straight on. Here the summary of what she do in Kemi Badenoch's. It's not about Kemi. Please don't think about it from the angle of Kemi. Say this one, the opposition party.
Angela Rayner is finally gone. It says everything about Keir Starmer's weak leadership, that he had to wait for a report before acting. The truth is simple. She dodged tax, she lied about it. Her position was untenable for days. Keir Starmer once promised honesty and integrity in politics, but when faced with this test, he hesitated. No principles, no backbone. We Conservatives forced this investigation and were vindicated. But this isn't the end. Questions remain. What did Keir Starmer know and when? Did he mislead the public? He has now lost a Deputy Prime Minister after losing a Transport Secretary, an Anti-Corruption Minister and a Homelessness Minister to scandal. His government is in crisis. And all of this is a distraction from the profound economic crisis the country is facing because of his decisions. While Labour hiked taxes on ordinary families, their own ministers dodged paying tax themselves. One rule for them, another for everyone else. The country deserves better. Only the Conservatives under my leadership will deliver that.
Hey, Tosi Olajide, how are you? You are right. In Nigeria, you just need a godfather. You need a godfather, you need a spiritual father, and all the nonsense that goes with it. You see over here, if you like, get godfather past godfather. If you like, in short, nobody even they send you. Keir Starmer will be the oga, Keir Starmer, I think he says it's Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift is that is he Australian? That Australian musician where they sing. Keir Starmer himself, they give him a gift. I think somebody gave him gift, a ticket gift to go and watch Taylor Swift. He no declare him. Say they give him gift. He go stand for, I think it's a box roll. He sat, sorry. Somewhere along the line, and media, you know, say UK media, if they find person will like a proco, in short, maybe I will go work for me UK media again. If they find people will like a proco, UK media, the fear of UK media is the beginning of wisdom. Now, so they find out, say, Keir Starmer went to go and watch Taylor Swift. I think it's Taylor Swift that she's called. He went to go and watch Taylor Swift. Okay. Okay. I mean, anybody can pay for tickets, and all is all in public domain. Now you can't find out. You say, Ashe, nah, they give him as complimentary. And it's not even the fact that he even went to that box that was a problem. It's the fact that he did not declare. They say he goes stand for that box as if he bought the tickets. So there were people that were supposed to buy tickets and get that box, but they had reserved it for him. The guy come begin. I think how much is even the air ticket? The ticket was probably less than £100. If you see as British press, it be a case here, Joe. If you're the UK, those of you the UK, if you watch the news, you would remember this news. You see as press begin the Keir Starmer Joe. Hey, don't be small something. Like, just like what Kemi is saying. Yes, Angela Rainey obviously have done what she's done. But it's not about Angela Rainey alone. It's about the integrity of the leadership that rules United Kingdom. Because, again, you know, when Kemi was saying, he said he will be transparent and honest in his leadership. That was part of his manifesto. So unlike Nigeria, you know, when did they campaign for Nigeria, you go to hear APC change, PDP. I think PDP is change, Abi. I don't even know which one is which among them. There's one that is power to the people. There's one that is change. Anyway, whatever any of the two. Now, so they're going to tell you, a PDP. I don't know. Anyway, they go to chant give una. The current president. What is your manifesto? He say Milokon. How does a Milokon? Okay, how do you measure? How do you measure poverty using a Milokon as manifesto? Better Edu we carry money. We be within how many months he carry money. You don't know how many accounts Better Edu gets. Aisha too, that one he carry money too. He carry a waka. Don't you see the kind of money that the budget that your senators are spending in Africa, in Nigeria? Don't you see the amount of money that they are spending? Look at the healthcare. Look at the amount of bloated budget that they have in healthcare in Nigeria. What is the manifesto of the current leadership? He said, na Emilokon. So how do you then measure? How do you measure performance with Emilokon? It's difficult. But Keir Starmer, they are measuring his performance and his reaction to concerns using his manifesto. This is an example of a country that works. Like I've said at the very beginning of my video, United Kingdom is not a perfect country. I'm going to tell you that, and I will say that anytime, any day, anywhere. The corruption with the United Kingdom, Nigeria, they learn. If you define corruption, if you define corruption in its highest order, the Western countries, you see the corruption they do for Africa, the African countries, they learn near Western countries. That I can tell you for free. That one no be, this one no be say go come. We no go, I no go say because I dey live for abroad. I will call they tell you say everything. No. The corruption in Western countries. You know say Nigeria corruption. The corruption for Africa, They do a ojukoroju. They do their own ojukoroju. And their corruption are greedy. Na greed. The corruption for Western country, they go so legalize them. Even you yourself, you go to cooperate with the corruption. That is how it is in the Western country. Okay? However, despite all of that, there is still a way to measure performance. Okay? And that's what Kemi Badnoch was saying, being an opposition leader. Because the reason why people voted for Labour Party. Now, in United Kingdom, we don't vote for individuals. We vote for the party. Okay? So the reason why the Labour government has emerged as a winner of the election is because they said they will be transparent and honest in their dealings and their response to the system, to the concerns of the country. But when there's been concerns in the country, Keir Starmer-led government has not been open and transparent. It has taken the press to investigate. It has taken opposition parties to call out concerns. It has taken people to go out. It has taken citizens to go out and protest. Okay? For Keir Starmer to then react, for Keir Starmer to then react and respond to the concerns in place. For instance, in the case of the junior minister that was talked about, the ministers that were caught up under Keir Starmer's, now he's had about 6 of them, including the Angela Rayner. All of them, they had something in common. There was fraud. They had evaded tax. They committed fraud in one way or the other, either through rentals or through lack of transparency around their qualifications, lack of transparency around their CVs. Okay? And of course, the opposition party is not going to sit down and be looking at you. The citizens are not going to sit down and be staring at you and be staring at the government. They are going to react. And that reaction is what we have seen. So the media has been there as a conscience of the citizens. In the case of Angela Rayner was a young lady who rose from nobody, who came from nowhere. So she was a young lady who was from a working class background. I think a single parent, From a working class background, a council house background, and at 16 she had to drop out of school because she fell pregnant. Okay, she had no qualification. She worked as a carer, but over time she rose. She rose and became the second most powerful woman, female politician. Second most powerful woman in United Kingdom. And look at how the pack of cards has fallen on her face. There's no doubt she understands her onions. In her job, she did her job right. She understood her onions. She was able to stand up. The proper, she's a working class. She came from a working class background. And to me, I give kudos to her that someone, a British who is from a working class background, who has been able to build herself side by side with the private school boys and private school colleagues. Okay? If you live in the UK and you understand the UK system, you understand what I mean by what I'm saying. She's been able to build that. And yet, just look at how the pack of cards came crumbling in front of her. She understood the housing law because she oversees it. Legislations are passed she's there. Side by side, she watches it all happen. So how can you commit tax fraud and claim not to know. Meanwhile, what you have done is in the remit of your duty. So the fact that she even bought the house in a trust, that shows she knew what she was doing. And that's where the whole concern is coming from. Whereby they're like, no, you can't turn around and say you're a single mother. You can't turn around and say, oh, you have a child that's got disability. You can't turn around and say, oh, you went through a messy divorce. People go through all sorts of stuff. Is that the excuse why you committed tax fraud? And if you can commit tax fraud as a deputy prime minister and as a housing minister, what other things have you been doing? And that's where the real question came from. What other things have you been doing? And of course, if you did something like that in that magnitude, you didn't do it alone. The prime minister, like Kemi was saying, what else? What does Keir Starmer know? I mean, she's forcefully, I mean, she literally got disgraced out of office. Because if investigation was never done, she would not have admitted to it. So it took investigation to be done for her to admit. And then Keir Starmer cannot turn around and say, I don't know what was going on. Because there is what we call the code of conduct practice, where she would have had to declare things. If you're in a public office, if you're a civil servant, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a civil servant and you're a public office holder in the United Kingdom, you know what I mean. Because those are things that we operate within. So she would have had to be transparent about that. But she wasn't. So the question is, when did Keir Starmer know about it? Of course he would know. But when did he know? When was he told? When was he informed? Who was there? How many other people knows? As the week is still too young. When you hear Faja, but I wrote to me Daniel. They don't Faja don't enter UK. Your Faja don't enter United Kingdom government. Down the street, when you hear bono feli. As the day now, everybody day in the deep blue sea. Keir Starmer, everybody they swim. It's a swim of survivor. Now him be waiting day grand. And if Keir Starmer does not give the right answer, if you no answer correctly, Labour government can so what do they call it? Conservative government can call for general election. Conservative government and the rest of the other parties, they can call the Conservative Party, and the rest of other parties, they can call for an early election on the basis say Keir Starmer has not been honest. So on the basis say Keir Starmer led what be the name? Keir Starmer led leadership has not been honest. They can either call for an early election, or Labour or Keir Starmer he resign, and then Labour then have to elect a new leader, and that new leader will become the new prime minister, just like what was happening with Conservative. Let us hear Kemi, and then I'll play you another video.
Angela Rayner is finally gone. It says everything about Keir Starmer's weak leadership, that he had to wait for a report before acting. The truth is simple. She dodged tax. She lied about it. Her position was untenable for days. Keir Starmer once promised honesty and integrity in politics. But when faced with this test, he hesitated. No principles, no backbone. We Conservatives forced this investigation, and were vindicated. But this isn't the end. Questions remain. What did Keir Starmer know, and when? Did he mislead the public? He has now lost a deputy prime minister after losing a transport secretary, an anti-corruption minister, and a homelessness minister to scandal. His government is in crisis, and all of this is a distraction from the profound economic crisis the country is facing because of his decisions. While Labour hiked taxes on ordinary families, their own ministers dodged paying tax themselves. One rule for them, another for everyone else. The country deserves better. Only the Conservatives under my leadership will deliver that.
Conservative, we don't hear.
Angela Rayner has resigned from the government in a major blow to Keir Starmer. Now he started a cabinet reshuffle as his long-planned government reset descends into chaos. Rayner, who was the Housing Secretary and the Deputy Prime Minister, will leave both roles. It's after she was found to have breached the ministerial code. She admitted that she underpaid stamp duty on an £800,000 flat that she bought in Hove. Rayner was told that she should have sought expert tax advice when purchasing that second home, which she did not do. That's because of complicated arrangements with her first property that she owned with her ex-husband. Rayner insisted that she made an error and took full responsibility, adding that she had always intended to pay the required amount of tax.
I'm very proud to sit alongside a Deputy Prime Minister who's come from a working class background to be Deputy Prime Minister of this country.
For years, Angela Rayner has been Sir Keir Starmer's right-hand woman. But after mounting pressure over her tax affairs, the Deputy Prime Minister handed in her resignation. Earlier this week, she admitted underpaying stamp duty. Today, the PM's independent ethics advisor says she breached the ministerial code. In his report, Sir Laurie Magnus said, her unfortunate failure to settle her stamp duty liability at the correct level, coupled with the fact that this was established only following intensive public scrutiny, leads me to advise you that, in relation to this matter, she cannot be considered to have met the highest possible standards of proper conduct as envisaged by the code. He added that he believed Angela Rayner had acted with integrity and with a dedicated commitment to public service. In her resignation statement, Angela Rayner said, I accept that I did not meet the highest standards in relation to my recent property purchase. I deeply regret my decision not to seek additional specialist tax advice. I would like to take this opportunity to repeat that it was never my intention to do anything other than pay the right amount. She added that the media pressure had put her family under significant toll. And in a handwritten note, the PM said he was sad her time in government had ended this way, adding he acknowledged the decision had been painful for her. The controversy surrounded the purchase of an £800,000 flat. She said she had been initially advised it could be considered the only property she owed, saving her £40,000 in stamp duty. Just yesterday, Cabinet Ministers were lining up to defend Angela Rayner.
I personally think she has acted honestly, decently and in good faith at all times.
I have full confidence in Angela Rayner. She is complying fully with everything that's asked of her. That's the right thing to do.
The Conservatives say, after weeks of questions, the PM should have removed her earlier.
Angela Rayner is finally gone. It says everything about Keir Starmer's weak leadership, that he had to wait for a report before acting.
This policy will not help social mobility, Mr Speaker.
Until this week, she had been considered a rising star within Labour. She had her first child, aged 16, and left school without qualifications. Angela Rayner then rose up the union ranks, becoming elected in 2015 and obtaining key roles in the shadow cabinets of Jeremy Corbyn and Sir Keir Starmer. Her departure today will leave a big hole within Cabinet. Sir Keir Starmer is now tasked with the job of reshuffling his government. Jasmine Cameron-Chaleshi, ITV News, Westminster.
Well, political editor Robert Peston joins me now.
Hi, Robert.
Well, Robert, this is huge.
It is. This is certainly the most challenging day that Keir Starmer has faced since becoming Prime Minister 14 months ago. Angela Rayner, second most powerful person in his party, is the elected deputy leader. She stood down from that role, and the second most powerful person in the government as Deputy Prime Minister. And more important than that, she had this ability to communicate in an authentic way that many would say that he lacks. She's wildly popular, frankly, compared to him, among Labour supporters and members. So this is a big blow. Also, one shouldn't forget that she was in charge of one of the 2 or 3 most important policies of this government, which is to build 1.5 million houses in the course of this parliament. Good for growth, but also, we haven't had enough house building in this country for decades. So filling her shoes enormously difficult. And then just the other point about all of this, of course, is humiliating for the government that said that it was going to do things differently, that there would not be misconduct, that she's had to go because she breached the ministerial code. The ethics advisor said that she was advised to take expert tax advice. She didn't, and at that point, she didn't meet the highest standards of conduct. That's why she had to go. The other side of it, of course, is it does show Keir Starmer's ruthlessness. He said there would be no room for breaches of the rules, and he sacked her so quickly. She only disclosed she didn't pay the full tax on Wednesday. For her to go within 48 hours is much faster than happened in the previous government when people broke the rules.
Very quickly. Reshuffle expected this afternoon, do you think?
Massive reshuffle. What I've been briefed from people in Downing Street is he was going to do a renewal, a recess of his cabinet anyway this autumn. That's all had to be brought forward. And nobody in cabinet, with the exception of the Chancellor, can be confident of keeping their jobs. I have been told that he has decided that her mission, getting some stability in public finances, getting growth going, is too important for him to want to move her, but nobody else, not even the Foreign Secretary or the Home Secretary, as we speak, can be confident they are still going to have those jobs at the end of this afternoon. So a very, very big day in the political world.
Busy one for you, Robert. Thank you.
All right. So we get the drift. Now let's come down to our own leadership. If this lady was a Nigerian, do you think, if she was a Nigerian politician, do you think the Nigerian media would have even had the guts to investigate? If it was a Nigerian media, if Guardian newspaper was a Nigerian media, they would have collected brown envelope. They would have shut their mouth. They would have kept their mouth quiet. Put it in the context of Nigeria. Look at your local government chairmen, your councillors, your senators, your governors, even your president's wife, all of them. Look at all of them. Who among your politicians can you put side by side and say, if this had happened in my country, will our media, is it channel newspaper? Is it channel news that want to come out and come and be the case Joe the way British media? They make sure they talk about the case. Say the woman woke up this morning. In short, yesterday, it was very, very obvious she was going to resign at some point. I was even surprised that she even waited till today. That she waited it this morning. Because it was brewing. What? Is it channel news? I've been at TVC. I've been at, who else is there? I don't know if AIT is still existing. Even Shehu Kimbaloye, that is forming wannabe ad talk. And Hussaini, Shehu Hussaini, I think the guy's name is Hussaini, Rufai Hussaini. If you want to understand how media should operate, I'm not saying the Western media is the best of the best. I'm not saying that. But at least they are able to drive the conscience. They are the voice, they are the conscience of the people to an extent. Not all the time, but to an extent. Investigation was done independently by Guardian. They found a leak of the information in the public. I mean, it's all public domain. There's nothing hidden. And they decided to investigate. And as soon as they investigated, they highlighted it in the news. And from there, of course, immediately when she don't, because the way Guardian said the thing, the person will get the case, say na him they talk about. Quick, she gbenu si mic. She gbenu si mic. She can't say she she underpaid stamp duty by 40,000. No be even 1,000, no be 2,000, no be 100, no be 100 pounds, no be 200 pounds, 1,000 loan, 40 loan. Now put it in Nigerian context. We hear, she's a single mother. After all, look at what she has done in her constituency. She brought a helicopter to her constituency. She did bridge in her constituency. Now wetin we go dey hear be that? Abi the woman go don run go United Nations like Natasha Akpoti run go. She go don run go to United Nations. Go dey begin dey speak grammar for there. You see say e happen for UK. They deal with am for UK. What did you hear them say? They say she breached the ministerial code of conduct. The question is, in Nigeria, do we have a code of conduct for public officers, office holders? Your president, he get bullion van. How did he end up with a bullion van? Àwọn ayékáyé tán bí aláya bàbá àwọn colleague wọn labroad jẹ. Your governors, they walk around as if now you understand. A country where electors have the final say. You see how things have played out. In Nigeria, look at it now. We have election in 2 years' time. In short, why am I even saying 2 years' time? Some states will start doing election from next year. How do you react towards the corruption of your leaders in your country? Those governors, they do what they like. The governor of your states, they do what they like. Is there a code of conduct to hold them accountable? Your local government chairmen, your councillors, your senators, is there a code of conduct to hold them accountable? Now question no, ìbéèrè ò dé fàjà. This is a number 2 person. Even Keir Starmer, like I said to you, Keir Starmer, ẹsẹ̀ orí òkun ló wà. Estake, you are not nice. He said Nigeria get code of the all force. And it's actually true. Abio, Yaya Bello say he's sick. EFCC the final. He say he's sick. Before we know what they happen, he don't go marry 4th wife. Remember your Fayoshe? That one self carry a bandage, that one carry put for head. Even what's his name? Dino. All of them. Emefiele, all of them. Abi no be Emefiele. Emefiele na get over 700 kilo property in your one person. One person, he get a whole estate. One person. He get 700 how many property. Person will be say, every one of us, if you like, get 1 million room for your house. Build 85 million room for inside your mansion. Now only one room you go sleep. Now only one bed you go day. Now only one toilet you go. If you like, even if those who build mansion, ask them. They all call you all of them will build mansion. Ask them, say now how many for that their house, how many room they don't enter for the whole mansion where they build. There's none. Your leadership in a country that works, we always say, Nigeria is working. Abike Dabiri, who is holding her accountable? Look at the way education is happening in Nigeria. Who is holding your ministers accountable? Now here we dey for Nigeria. Now Nigeria we dey. Where they go employer or hacking pikin, where that has no. Hey, Guru boy, where have you been? Hey, now here we dey. Where they go employer and hacking pikin, they are now putting their children are now the special advisors. No be small thing. I don't even know say you see am Esther. If the guy they carry Bible, the Zenny say she get cancer. All of them. Now, Dilo Melaye, he don't go. I think he said they call him to bar. He's not a lawyer inside Nigeria. I'm doing great, and you? It's good that you're fine. Just look at it. In Nigeria, which leadership, which of your politician, nine press, nine media, feel shaking yash the way they take shake this woman yash. To the extent they shake and say she had no choice. All of this happened less than a week. Now she take resign. If you're Nigeria, you will hear, I am here to serve. It has happened. Let bygone be bygone. And so you go to hear. You hear, oh, her child is disabled. Is it you that is going to look after the child if she's not able to look after her child? Now, those are the things you'll be hearing. Do you see say with a disability? The way that they go with that lady, she has resigned, quite all right. The way they are going with her, she will be forced to sell that property. I can tell you that for free. She will be forced to sell that property. Because the fact that she even had the guts to buy that property through a trust, that speaks volume. That is a massive breach. And if they can evidence that she bought it, which has been evidence, that she bought it while she was a minister, while she was a serving politician, they don't go ara onira diye. In Nigeria, look at your ordinary first ladies. No be here we dey for Nigeria. Where first lady Benusi Mike, he say make they donate money. She get account, make they donate money inside the account. Say she won't build national library. Since when did Nigeria start operating office of first lady? What is the role of first lady? What is the role of first lady? Who is checkmating the first lady? Most of your first ladies, your so-called governors' wives, a lot of them, you don't want to know the kind of things where they buy abroad. Now their family member, they help them. Look at Williams Ushemba, what's they call the name of that one? Where his sister na governor wife. That one, nobody know the job where they do. All we just know say the guy goes if the guy no go China today, he go say they do one business contract. What they do? Nobody they ask question. But because Nigeria is Nigeria, they born in Papa well. Kiestama get family now. They no born in wife well to act on his behalf. What be her name? I think is it Sherry? Was it Sherry Blair or Tony Brown? Gordon Brown's wife. I can't remember which of them. Either Gordon Brown. Yes, Gordon Brown's wife. And I think no, Sherry Blair. It was actually Sherry Blair. They invited her for a conference. I can't remember the country. When she got there, she sold the book. She had a book that she actually published. Sold the book. And then they paid her. Now, when they invited her, guess what? They said the wife of the prime minister. They did not invite her as Sherry. Hey, I can't remember her second name again. They did not invite her as Sherry. Oh no, they invited her as Sherry Blair. But they said the wife of the prime minister. So of course they gave her money and whatever. They paid her for that service. Now when she came back to the UK, they were auditing. Now they say, wait till she sold book and she was paid money. Did she declare it? Now when they Benusi Mike, now she say it was a private clinic, and they said no, it's not private. You were invited as a wife of a serving prime minister. Every proceed that she got from that particular speaking event, she had to return it back to the government coffers. If in Nigeria you're gonna hear, what is your own? After all, are they the one that said they should write it that she's the wife of a prime minister? That's what you will hear in the Nigerian context. They be told lojuti dey. Nibita morality wade. Some people will even come. It's because she's a Yoruba woman. It is because she's Yoruba, and the people that did the conference, they are Hausa. That is why they are picking on her. Now, so they go turn out to tribal, they go turn out to ethnicity, they go turn out to political. Nothing where they no go do finish. You see that in the case of this woman, nobody is interested. They're not interested in whether she's a woman. What they are talking about is a professional standing. Her office, she has abused her office. That is the key point here. They're not saying, oh, she's a woman, oh, she's a man, oh, she is a single mother, she's a divorcee, she's a kidika. No. The focus is she abused the use of her office. Guru boy, you can say that again. We the Nigerians, we are the biggest problem. We the Africans, we are the biggest problem of ourselves. The leadership we have is a reflection of us. Whether religious leader, whether political leader, whether traditional leader, whatever kind of leadership that we have is a reflection of each and every one of us. Look at our traditional leaders too. No be traditional leaders they be. All those people when they come, they do illegal mining. All those illegality that is happening. All those Fulani headsmen. Are you telling me that those people just evade for no reason? Without anybody aiding and abetting them? In a country that works, nobody is interested in tribe. Nobody is interested in gender. What they are interested in is collective interest of everyone. That's what becomes a paramount of discussion. The common interest of everyone. Look at education. Till today, I don't know about Tuna. Education minister, we never hear. I don't know who the person be. We never see him. President Tinubu, he say he's going on a vacation. I've been waiting on annual leave. He's going on 10 days working annual leave. Nibo not in Sheruwe. They operate Nigeria as if na their family property. And the Nigerians that you would think they will open their mouth and talk, both in diaspora and at home. Now so we go there. We go begin to guide them. The Nigerians in diaspora, now we go help all these politicians. Now we go aid and abet them. Now the same us, now they aid and abet them. All those politicians, all those Nigerian politicians, when they buy property abroad, I beg now who they help them buy them? No be you and I. No be some of us with the diaspora, Nigerians with the diaspora. You go say, make I shop my own court and no send anybody. You go see immigration lawyer and then go help them package. You go see accountant and then go help them package. All those trusts with those olori buruku and walaye baje ton she. The one where your pastors, all of them they open. Na us. Now those of us where the diaspora, now we they show them, now we they help them, now we they aid and abet them. If you want Nigeria to be good, Nigeria starts from you and I. Whether in the diaspora or at home, it starts from you and I. Those of us in the diaspora, a lot of us are abroad. We could have thrived, we can do better in Nigeria if Nigeria gave us an opportunity to do so. But guess what? The same some of us with the diaspora, now the same some of us too. Now you go say, that person is my person. Don't worry. Let me tell you a particular incident, a direct one that happened. This one no be say they tell me na direct, na person, na my person. This one happened to my cousin. Is a very good friend to a former governor of Ekiti State. As a matter of fact, they were the ones that fundraised for this specific governor. to come to power. The governor was in the diaspora. The governor, what did they call her? Now one of those we say they run come up for Nigeria during June 12th. Well educated, well read, you would think. I remembered it was my cousin's 40th birthday. Back then, that was when I met him, because we went for my cousin's 40th birthday in America. That was where I met him. And I remember the birthday, you know that kind of in between the talks now, okay, he wanted to become the governor, they had a conversation. All of them, Ashe. Anyway, now so they fundraised. He was one of the governors, he's the only governor in Ekiti, at least to the best of my knowledge anyway. He was one of the governors in Ekiti State that when he wanted to contest for for Ekiti State governor, initially he did not have a godfather. The money that was raised for him was all organically raised by Nigerians in diaspora, by Ekiti in diaspora. I think some Ekiti people too in Nigeria, they did raise some money, but majority of the money came from those in the diaspora. They got him into power. He won the election, but of course there was rigmarole and blah blah blah. They stood by him. He eventually got in there. When this guy got there, my cousin became his commissioner. Became one of the commissioner. That my cousin now Luoyibo. These people say they speak grammar. What I'm spraying. I'm not to be Luoyibo, and they don't understand Nigerian politics. My cousin has a very successful business. I'm not saying it because it's my cousin. I'm saying what the realities are. He has a very successful business. So he was made a minister, a commissioner rather. He said minister, a commissioner. He was made a commissioner, and for him, these are people that they've lived abroad. They are so passionate about wanting to make a difference in their country. So when he became the commissioner, when he was made a commissioner, he was very keen on improving the sector in which he was made a commissioner. And of course, he brought his networks from America, across the world, brought them. My cousin very quickly, I don't think he finished his commissioner. I think is every 2 years they change them or something like that. The guy no reach, in short, 1 year, but I can't fish 1 year. When that my cousin say, wait till you see. Now, that my cousin, as I follow the talk, and if you call Nigeria for years, if you push it, fight you. Before that time, when they were telling him, these people they don't do this one. If this guy enter government, this guy no send you. All this we will do this, we will do that. These guys, they get there and they start doing something different. My cousin was like, no, I know him. We went to Unilag together. We should spray me. Now so they speak. I remember my late mom was even when he was doing all this grammar. I remember my uncle, my paternal uncle call him. They follow and talk, hear word. Now my mom see, because they hear word, my mom see follow and talk, they hear. Now my mom say, I remember my late mom call him. He say, auntie, don't worry. He's a kinika. Anyway, long and short of it, now the guy reached there. He realized, say, he said that so, one change 2, no change 3 some, no change 4 some. Obìnrin ni kura. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fáwọn ọmọ lọ́mọ, wọ́n sọ àwọn ọmọ lọ́mọ di barbecue. Wọ́n máa kun wọ́n lórí bed. Ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. The meeting is not about the progressiveness of Ekiti State. Now, how they go take the share money, now so the meeting be. How they go share money, how they go do this. Now my cousin, now that one, he carry leg. If you see the way he take run, come back from America. That my cousin. Person will say, at least once I become a commissioner, we get there, and then one of the time I'll become a senator, I'll become a governor. In short, no mention Nigerian for years. He dey go Nigeria, but say he don't see him firsthand. He said, "Wow." That person will be saying trust. Wait to say know him. He said, "Whoa." That, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe my eyes. Him and that governor, they still they hang out. Of course, they still they hang out. But it showed him a different, say, person when they speak Oyibo, he different. He be like different from person when they speak Oyibo. And so the case be. There is no transparency. Look at it. They want to do election, they go, the carry Ghana must go up and down for Nigeria. Look at the roads. Where is the minister of roads and housing? I mean, whatever this thing. Who are your ministers? Who is your health minister in Nigeria? Who is your education minister in Nigeria? Who is the minister in charge of housing in Nigeria? Abi, we know they see drainage. We know they see drainage problem for Nigeria. Make rain for Lekki. Who are the ministers? At least Nigeria. In short, it was later I found out that I share Nigeria. I share that 72 ministers we get. As they get a normal minister, they can't get minister of states. So for 36 states, ministers one person represents each 36 states. So they have two people that represent each 32 states. That's 72. We get 72 ministers where we employ. I beg, where they? Where is our Minister of Defense? All those Fulani headsmen, what is our ministry doing? What's the Ministry of Defense? What are they doing about it? The Minister of Agriculture, what are they doing? How are they supporting the farmers? How are they helping? What are they doing? Look at education. Every nook and corner where you turn, private school emerge. Who are they competing with? They are competing with themselves. Government-owned schools, they've run into the ground. Our media, brown paper ni. Our media, na so they go mole. If you say no they there, yes, Peter Obi is a Kineka. Wait, the real issues with the Nigeria. How many children are out of school? Why is it media not talking about it? Why are the media not investigating? Why are they not doing independent investigation? Independent investigation is what led to Ajenarena and every other ministers. That's what led to all of them being forced out of office because of a breach of code of conduct. In Nigeria, can this happen? EFCC. Now Yahoo boys they pursue up and down. The one with your governor, the one with the governors of Nigeria they do, he pass Yahoo. The one with ministers they do, he pass Yahoo. The one with, in short, I was watching Remi Tinubu's video where she they ask for money. He dey born Kiesta my wife well. Toba bi yala ya babeda. Make she come out, can't do that kind thing. You know to about Tony Yoyi. Kemi bad knock. She's married now. They know born her husband well. They know born the husband well. To grant interview, say Abi may carry camera. Say they solicit for money. Say what's happen? In a country that works, there are things that don't happen. How do you want to measure the performance of Tinubu? Your measurement is based on Emilokon. Because now wait till he tell you be that. If it was Peter Obi, it is I save money. I saved money when I was in Anambra State. Okay, you save money. How do you measure performance? Abina Showore, revolution now. Okay, we agree, say revolution will happen. But how do we measure transparency? How do we measure accountability? How do we measure performance? APC change. Okay, yes, and I changed the change. But what are they changing? How do you measure the change? Muritala Muhammad Airport. Now every AK market they renovate them. Look at our hospitals. And yet we have health minister. I was telling you guys the other day, what be the name? Adana David, I've been waiting that one calling himself. The special advisor where they stay London. Tí bá ṣe pé Nigeria ò lófin. Best say be special advisor. The country where she they stay, won't be alaya baba won da. May she be special advisor for UK, they stay Nigeria. How she won't take it to one? But because Nigeria, and that's to tell you that everybody is greedy. There is a girl. Her father was a governor, or Hakim's daughter. Her father was a governor. The father looted Imo State dry. He used a wabu, send in children, go school. Same with Okorocha. Name all your governors. All of them, they use state public fund to send, to cater for their immediate families. They use public fund to enrich themselves. Ekore Madu is in prison. And guess what? He's still being paid because he's still known as, he's still a sitting senator. He's still earning money. Why is in prison in Britain? If he was in Britain, won't be here da. He go earn money. Hena as how? As how? How you won't take Enam? In what's the name? In Glasgow, 3 Kinonporukwe. In Glasgow, 3 councillors, 3 head of councils. They overpaid them pension. Let me look for. I'm going to play the audio of the news for you so you can hear. In a country that works. In a country that works. Hear what had happened. Hold on. Let me see. Just give me 1 minute. I just want to. There's no point doing a different show when I can actually do it on this as well. Just give me 1 minute. Let me see. I want to show you a minister. 2 was the name. They resigned. I will look for it. Maybe I will do a show on that one. These 2 ministers, what did they do? They happened to collect pension. They overpaid them pension and they kept their mouth shut. Right? They overpaid them pension. It's Glasgow City Council. They overpaid them pension and they kept their mouth shut. And of course, we're like, you kept your mouth shut. Now, so they investigate again. Private investigation during audits. Now the audit is saying, they ask them, they are all have to, each of them, they overpaid them. They got 100, they got 1 million each for their pension. So they overpaid them by 300,000. Each of them will now have to pay back that money. They don't send their papa. They have to pay back. If it was Nigeria, the case would just be a case of olele to wonu eko, inu could come out. Your governors in Nigeria, they have a bloated. It's only in Nigeria that governors will come into office. They will serve for 8 years, and they have a lifetime pension and benefits. Every 4 years, go and read the benefit that your governors enjoy at the detriment of your commonwealth. Every 4 years, you must buy them brand new cars. Pay for their protection, not for them, them and their children, for the rest of their lives, including their children. they are sorted for life at the expense of your commonwealth, at the expense of your tax. Instead of us to be asking questions, what will they do? We dey there, we dey watch Big Brother. We dey there, we dey jump, we dey shout. We are happy. We are there, we are happy and clapping. If we know they shout, I receive. They use our future. Your politicians, they use our future. If they use our future, they play ten. In a country that, yes, people want to come to UK. Imagine if UK also act and they behave the way we behave in Nigeria. The way our government do not give a hoot about us. Imagine if they do like that in Nigeria. If they do that in UK, would people run here? Would people run to America? Call Trump, whatever name you want to call him. There is still transparency, at least to a level. The media is still there. You hear the way Trump responds to media now. When sometimes he say, I don't like you. You know Trump doesn't know how to talk. He say, I don't like you. That means the media is transparent. I listen to Shehu Okibalo when they talk. It's not about speaking good English. It's not about wearing suits. It's not about doing wannabe. There's a lot. Journalism in Nigeria is still very raw. The one that Hussein, whatever that going calls himself, that one way they kuru the guy, that one that lack ethics in his profession. The time he spends speaking and blowing grammar. Imagine if Nigerian journalists, they actually re-empower themselves and become investigatives, whereby they can investigate independently. Look at all that is happening in Nigeria. The media house in Nigeria now, all of them zip their mouths. A whole first lady, she came out begging for money on national TV, and no media saw that as something wrong. Look at education. Our education is not fit for purpose. Nigeria keep producing human capital for the rest of the world. Hello, Teoshitu. I agree that they apply journalism, but still at that, there are still people that will still stick their neck, but they would not do it. You're going to be hearing, even the civil society, the so-called NGO, nobody can ask question. Everybody just they do their own. Nobody can ask question. Keir Starmer, shebi at least when I hear what they talk. Exactly, Esther K. Everywhere jaga jaga, everywhere scatter scatter. The song wey we dey sing na shake nyash. We shake nyash, we do orishirishi. And here we are. This why these people they build their own future. We dey. Our government they plus us, because we join the government. Now we be the government. Selection they call next year now. That selection now, you go see our people, even those with the diaspora, you go see them. We have to, yes, APC is a kinika. They will go carry money, they go exchange, they go give them Ankara, give them rice, low baton. For United Kingdom, they do election. Nobody they know say election dey happen. You go your normal work. Nobody, you no go even know say elections every day. You go your normal work. You turn up at your polling vote. That is if you are doing the physical vote. Or most times people would have voted through the post. When are we going to get to where we are? With the drive car, when are we going to arrive at our destination? It is not just about government, because this is not government alone. It's not about government. It's about every one of us. Those of us in the diaspora, when are we going to start chastising those in the diaspora who aid and abet our bad governments. Are you a realtor? You're a realtor in the diaspora. Are you one of those who help all these guys to buy property and hide it? You think it's not going to come to your children one day? You think you're not going to be impacted? You are in for a shock. You are in for a big shock. Shebuna see now, our people, not be only you body they cramp. They also cramp their own people. They scam their own people. In a country that works, transparency and accountability is paramount. Like I've said, I'm not saying United Kingdom is the best or the best. Corruption within the United Kingdom is Africa, they learn next to them. But you still see things work. What's the name of Nigerian vice president? If Nigerian vice president did something wrong today, will they resign? Look at Natasha Akpoti and Akpabio. All the craze what the two of them they do. I don't know why people were taking sides. All the craze what did they do? He said the abuser, you go in house. Where they carry you? How law making they enter make una they go in individual houses? Una con day. You can't they carry helicopter. They go our constituency. Akpabio too. That one to carry security. He use until local National Assembly. Kera wọn aláyé bàjẹ́ méjèèjì. They turn Nigeria to personal property. They turn Nigeria to commodity. Everybody just come there. Everybody go carry his own. Come shop the piece of the action of the cake. Others are there waiting on the queue. One day, me self, now my call one way, all of us go share them one day. Look at us. Our population is almost 300,000, 300 million. We have no infrastructure to meet that needs. Our healthcare system is not responding. Those here braces that are supposed to be the face, where are they? They are nowhere to be found. Those here braces, they are nowhere to be found. Everybody did the hustle. Let me focus on my own. I don't care. Let me just focus on my own. They focus on their own. Everybody focuses on their own. So long as me, I'm okay. I couldn't care less what others are doing. Everybody focus on their own. And the focus is focusing. And where has it gotten us to? Where we are also individualistic and so greedy. Look at religious leader. They come now. Everybody now. God, they call everybody now. Now God, they call them. Whether na mobile phone you use to call them, whether na Econet, whether na Globalcom, whether na MTN, we don't know. Before we know what they happen, they don't get money. And here we go. Here we go from there. Anyway. I just said, let me talk about this and let's learn, let's reflect in the context of our countries. Where are we? Can Nigeria ever get to this level? Corruption can never be totally eradicated. There's no point lying about that. But can Nigeria ever get to a level where we can start holding our leaders accountable without being sentimental? Without throwing emotions to it? I'll come back later. I have a show to do. I have a very important show to do. I'll come back later. Thanks everybody that joined and contributed. I'll see you all later. Bye.